Okay. Okay, peoples, let's get this started. Okay, so I'm ready for you. I can hear you if you talk to me. Now let's get to work. Okay, so I already have this one wired up over here. It's a RunCam thumb. An important note with the RunCam is that sometimes these cords are reverse polarity from how it normally is. So I found this, and if I was to wire this like this, I could still wire it like this, but the would actually be backwards. And this always gives me anxiety because then I wonder if I wired this one in backwards. So I'm going to go and look at the, well actually this should actually say 5-volt ground. So that's wired up properly. So 5-volt ground. Now the thing with this one is, you see if I put it in like this, the 5-volt wire, the red one's on top. So I could just plug it in and it wouldn't matter, but then later on that could mess me up. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch these, and this can be a little bit tricky. So we got to use something. I'm going to use a razor because it's small, and I got to be able to this is where the helping hands become nice and helping. Be careful because that's all hot now because I have my soldering iron ready too. But let's use the helping hands so that we can clamp this in here. You see what I'm doing? Okay, so we clamp it in, and now we're just going to lift up the tab gently and pull out the, there we go, super gently. You want to be super gentle because if you screw this up, it's not going to sit nicely and you're not going to be able to have it nice. But if you do this really gentle, and that's why I'm using a razor, because it's sharp, it's little, I'm just pulling the tab and getting this thing out of here. Because sometimes people try and push the metal down and stuff, but then it gets all, you can get all messed up. So you want to just lift up the tab, and now just take this and slide it in the right one, left one, which is the correct one, the left one, the right one. Yeah, so now that's in there. And now we're going to put this one into this side. And really make sure you got the polarity right. That's the most important thing, because if you don't have the polarity right, when you plug in your camera, you're going to blow it up, because these things, they don't have reverse polarity protection. So you see now this is going to be able to plug in perfectly into this the same way as that. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find a place where we can wire this. We now sometimes there's pads on some of these things that give more than 5 volts, and you don't want to be giving more than 5 volts. Because if 5 volts is enough to power it, then that's just what we need. And if we do more than that, then we can blow it up as well. So you want to make sure that you look into your wiring diagram. And we're always going to flux everything and put more, put solder on it. So let's get these helping hands back. And we're going to turn on my little new favorite machine. This machine, it sucks the air and gives me extra light. And so I'm just going to put that on when I'm soldering. I like the mesh. I find it works much better than water and a pad. Now, where's my solder? And then you put a little bit of solder on your tip, and then you touch it to the cable, and then you add some with the, there you go. See how nice that is? There we go. Very nice. Okay, that's all we got to do. It sucks in the air nicely for us. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little clippers, and I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller because I don't need it to be that long. So it already has the solder nicely, so when I do this, it still leaves me a nice soldered bit. Okay. Now we're going to take this, and you got to find a nice 5-volt pad. So I got here a 5-volt and a ground. Okay, so this ground has no solder on it. So first I'm going to take my little, where's my Q-tip? I usually have like a disgusting Q-tip with everything ripped off one end. Yeah, right here. So see, I just have a Q-tip. I pull the fluff off, and then I use this as my flux applicator. So I'm just going to grab a bit of flux. I'm going to put it on the ground pad. And now we're going to put on my solder sucking machine again. I run my soldering iron at 350. I'm going to touch that pad, and then I'm going to add some solder to it. There we go, beautiful. And now I'm going to put the ground and the 5-volt on the pad. When you just sit it on and you let the solder do the work, it kind of sucks it up itself. So I let it sit and they'll combine, and then once they combine, I'll just run my my gun up the wire, and it'll just do a nice job. Now turn off your soldering iron. So many times I leave that thing on, and that's not a good thing. So now that that has been wired up, I'm gonna route it and figure out how I'm gonna stick this through. I'm going to be able to now easily take this camera off my, so you know, you guys been great. You know, my channel has grown over 1,000 subscribers without barely any action cam footage. So thanks for, you know, sticking around, and I'm gonna try and give you guys better content by filming with action cams. It's scary because every time I use an action cam, I seem to destroy it. So hopefully we don't end up destroying this action cam tonight. But I do want to give you guys something nicer to look at, right? So I kind of just made a weird contraption to attach this to stuff with my AutoCAD skills that aren't really the greatest yet. But so see, now it's disconnected off this. I can plug it to this anytime that I want. But now we're gonna be able to stick it on my fun drone that actually can fly properly. Like the Cinewhoop can fly, but it's just, you know, it's not as exciting, fun, or fast. You see, I made this like kind of like adapter so I can like tilt it and whatever. So now we're gonna take this guy, and we're just gonna figure out first how I'm going to how I'm gonna do this. Where are the back screws? There they are. Are those the back? No, those are the front. Those, oh, I was holding the back screws. So I'm thinking if I put it like that, I guess I could run it, because I kind of want to waste the length. I don't want it to be hanging. Is that going to be too far back? Yeah, that won't reach. Maybe the middle circle? That should be okay. I don't want it to be somewhere where it can get caught by the propellers. So I think that there, I wonder if that's better or if that's better. That might be better. Okay, let's just, whenever you set up anything, you want to kind of route it, and that will always help. I've been sick for a while too, so I've had 2 bouts of like fever. It's just been a nightmare, so I haven't been around as much. Maybe we'll put some new props just because we're doing something fun today. Hopefully the weather's good. Okay, and then where were those thingy things? Here they are. So put one of these on this side. And ooh, I think that this this gets in the way. Ooh, how can I do this? This gets in the way of my camera because my angle's so steep. I guess if I tilt this angle, might work. This might actually work. Okay. Just so delicate. Now let's see what this looks like inside the feed, and let's see if this powers up nicely. And if it does, then that's that, and if it blows up, then poop. I did it again. I sent a message on FPV Life, but no one got back to me. Oh, of course, give me an answer I don't need. Oh, I use a BEC. I use a 5-volt regulator. That's the whole point of plugging it off a 5-volt thing. Okay, so let's plug it in, and either we got a good working camera or it's a sad day. Oh, let's plug this in too. Okay, moment of truth. It looks as though the camera is not being powered. Maybe it's not enough voltage. Let's see what happens if we plug a 4S. Oh yeah. Please work. Where's my 4S batteries? Yeah, that pad is not giving me 5 volts. So, troubleshooting. All we have to do is find a pad that gives us 5 volts. Nice thing about the discus, I can just roll this to the side and we can try another pad. Take it to the same one as the camera. It's just, let me look at the wiring diagram for the Nano 32. It takes up to 13 volts in. How many volts can the Runcam thumb take? Okay, let's see what it takes in. What are the specs? "5-volt max. Input 5 volts. Okay. So we don't want more than 5 volts. And the crossfire can take more than 5 volts. So we need a 5-volt pad. I have a picture of that flight controller, hopefully, because that's what I've been doing. Taking pictures of everything that I use, so that I have it for good. Tell me that picture is here somewhere. Of course not. Of course not. I don't want to take it apart. "5-volt in. Ground battery. I'm just going to connect it to one of these 5-volt pads. I'm going to attach it to the same one as the camera. The camera can take more than 5 volts, but usually the camera is given a 5 volt. That's given a 5 volt also. So let's just attach it to the camera pad and call it a day. Hopefully this isn't the end of me. Oh, I turned off my soldering iron. Like, does this power? no! It took all the solder off my thing. I have to re-glob you. Why? You know, this is going to disconnect my camera too. Watch this. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's just test this now, make sure it works. Where did I put that battery? This is how we screw up by doing things too quickly. But who wants to wait? Oh. It would help to plug it in. It works! Yay! Does that mean it's recording? Does it just automatically record? Why is it flashing? Oh, because there's no memory card in it. That's why. Okay, very good. It works. We did it. Congratulations. And that's a wrap. Okay, now I'm just gonna route everything nicely. Charge some batteries. We're gonna go out and do something fun, hopefully, today. Poke it through the hole. Very nice. Oh, look at that. Very beautiful. Fine workmanship. And it didn't blow up. I have to say, this drone has been wonderful. I love it. The Great Discus. You can buy one in the description below. Okay, very nice. Plug that in. Give it a 45-degree angle. And we are happy. Oh, and then I have to find a... Where are my ND filters? Somewhere.
Demis Martin said, "Is this a crux?"
This is a drone called the Discus, and I designed it because of how crappy the crux was. I broke like 4 cruxes, so then I decided to work on a frame that would be something better. So this is much stronger. You can get it anywhere from 3 millimeters to 4 millimeters. It has a base plate that can take 20 by 20, it can take whoop, and it can take 30 by 30. It has space for a larger camera on one side or a nano cam on the other. You can take all the parts from the crux and it'll fit right on there. And this is basically a crux ported onto it, and you can see you can still access the original board if you have one of the original cruxes. It can take both 9mm and 12mm motor mounts. So if you have 1404s, it'll line up perfectly with the drone. If you have bigger ones, it won't line up as well, so you'll have to kind of route the wires a little, so that's not as nice. But at least it can take both motors. It has a 20 by 20 holes on top so that you can screw the Vista on top plate if you wanted to, and you can get it with, this is 18mm standoffs. This is about like 22mm standoffs, so you can just use longer standoffs if you have to fit more electronics in. I've been slowly making different 3D parts for it. Like this is a fixed 45-degree camera holder, and it doesn't even need to be screwed in. It pressure fits. And then here I made this so that you can stick the capacitor and the battery wire. And then when you connect your battery, the wire is just long enough. It doesn't get caught or worry about knocking anything up. And it's 25 grams to 30 grams depending on if you get the 3mm to 4mm carbon, and it's a pretty awesome frame. If you go into the description of any of my videos, you should be able to watch a video I made all about it. And even this, so instead of having things sticking out, the motor protection is that the frame is just slightly longer or bigger than the diameter of the motor, so often it'll hit the frame instead of the motor. Also, because it's so tight, the camera is usually safe. And that's the other thing that I didn't like with the crux. I feel like lots of the drones that are made, they're made too tall and too long, so it's like flying a coffin. This has an amazing center of gravity. It's super strong, and I haven't broke any yet. You can also put them in different configurations, so this is kind of like making a pusher. So this is a 2mm thick one. It's a pusher, and it takes 3-inch propellers, but it weighs less than the Synologue 25. Mind you, it's kind of like, it flies very well, but it's not super strong, and I have a naked Vista. It's more for like indoor flying and whatever, but it gives you really nice control. And I'm working on doing kind of like, so there's a race version where you have the little fin and everything, and then bando version, you can put the battery on top if you want, you can put the battery underneath. There's straps, so you can strap it toilet tanked or regular on top or underneath, so you can experiment with all those things. It's just kind of a sub 250 one frame that does it all, and there's no other frame that gives you all those options, so it's pretty nice. I designed it because I got really kind of sick of flying crappy sub 250 drones and watching everyone with the 5 inches that kind of have all the nice options. I'm also slowly designing more parts, but I taught myself everything, so I'm not that great with AutoCAD yet. But I'm going to be designing bumpers and stuff for the motor arms and stuff to give it more protection. And it's my favorite thing to fly. It flies pretty great. Okie dokie. Now what else was I going to do? If you have any questions, go for it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna replace those props because we're gonna go do something fun today. And I'm going to disconnect my soldering iron. And I'm going to put a memory card inside this thing so I don't forget. Do do do. Okay, I'm going to plug this in and do a quick test video just to make sure that everything is working. Okay, where is the battery? Did I talk too much? Did I scare you away? Okay, so let's testy tester. They are recording. Hello there, Falcom. How are you? Testing, testing. Okay. Very good.
Demis Martin said, "Excellent work. Great frame."
Thanks. Yeah, check out the video. You'll learn a lot more, and you can order your own from CNC Madness. Eventually, I'll be like selling binding flies and stuff, but I'm just dirt broke right now, so it takes money to make money, and I don't have the money to invest in so many things. So CNC Madness has them, and if you like sub 250, it'll be your favorite frame. You order a few of them. Really, like, the thing that's nicest about it is being able to put the battery on top or underneath in any formation, because it lets you experience what the battery's like on top and what the battery's like underneath. Okay, I'm showing you my screen now. Let's see if we can see what that looks like. Okay. Well, the settings are not good, but it works. So I'll just have to so I'll just have to fix those settings. I always do that kind of live wherever I am, set up the camera, and then good to go. No. Probably be better to always use the port instead of pulling the thing in and out and one day breaking it. But I think that is that. Oh, I have to find my ND filters. Where did I put my ND filters? I have them somewhere. Oh, here they are. Oh no! I'm missing one. So even if I'm not using the well, usually I'm using the ND8, but even if I'm not using one, I have a clear one. I found these, they're by, I think they're a company called Newer. Yeah, Newer makes these, and what I did is I 3D printed, because this is a Runcam Thumb Pro. It's just naked, so it weighs half as much. It weighs like 6 grams, and then with the print it's like 8 grams, and then I made this thing that goes around the lens, and then I can take these filters They're not designed for it, but I made it this size so that I can just kind of stick it on like this. And that even if I don't have a filter on, I use that and it gives me a little bit of protection. Okay, I think usually I pop it off. Do I pop you off? Then I'll stick it on. Oh, you know what? I forgot to wipe the lens properly. Okay. So, nice little camera cloth. Nice little camera cloth. Wiping. Shove this thing in. All the way in. Yes. And then put it on top and shove it all the way in again. That's what she said, right? Okay. There we go. So it's touching and we are delightfully delighted. Pull it out just a touch. Is it bending the thing? These things are so delicate. Don't you know that I'm delicate? Okay. There, we got the pressure off of it. Under pressure, pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Okay, it's not that sunny though, so. There we go. Lovely. So we have our 4K camera ready to go and have fun with. Okay, thank you for joining. Nice to meet you. Smoochy smoochy. Okay, see ya.